You know, one of the reasons I got this Tidewater in to do this demonstration was one of my customers traded this last year. It was a very wet ride here in New Jersey, and they wanted more. So they went to the Triton 225, a little bigger of a boat, but definitely a meatier, dead rise, and Carolina flare and higher gunnels like he wanted here in New Jersey. Hi there, this is Sea Hunt vs. Tidewater. I've got a 202 2011 Triton next to a 2011 196 Tidewater. I'm going to show the differences of these boats and maybe help you make a good choice on which one is right for you. Both nicely built boats, nice boats with nice features. Just some little differences I'm going to show you here. The Sea Hunt has a 8.3 beam, as well as the dead rise on this boat is in the entry. In bigger water where we are in New Jersey, this is what works for us. 50 degrees of dead rise on your entry. The Tidewater only has 40 degrees of dead rise on your entry. You can see the angle of slant that comes down here. By the time you're hitting water, that water is going to be breaking way too far back here, and it does have some flare, but not as prominent as your Sea Hunt does. Here's your Sea Hunt with your dead rise and how much flare they have here. It's a lot more. So your water is going to break off the front of this boat, and then you're going to have your big reverse chine under here, which is very meaty, and then your big Carolina flare to take care of that. So bigger water, drier ride on the Sea Hunt, definitely. Tidewater to me is more of a bay boat that might work for you down in North Carolina or south from us, but here up in New Jersey, this is going to be a wet water ride in our 3 to 4 foot chop on the weekends. So, you know, 40 degree angle on the front and not as much flare up here. Also, your reverse chine is even not as meaty as it was on the Sea Hunt. Here's the Sea Hunt chine again. Much meatier. Also, on the Sea Hunt, you go from 50 in the front, which is a lot. Just to give you an idea, a 26-foot Hydra Sport only has 46 degrees of entry. So a 20-foot Sea Hunt with 50 is a lot. It's 50 in the front, 20 in the middle, and in the rear you have 16 degrees of dead rise. Why that is good is you have a huge variation, less rock and roll when you're sitting, as well as easier, lower power, gets you faster, and you pop right out of the hole. So it's a combination of a great hole ride. The Tidewater does 40 in the front, and I do not know the middle, but I know it goes back to, it's probably 22 in the middle, and the rear is 20 degrees of dead rise. So you'll have a little more rock and roll. The gunnels, as you can tell in the hull, is much smaller. This is a 19-foot 6-inch boat compared to 20-foot 2-inch Sea Hunt there. The Tidewater's got an 8-foot 2-inch beam, and the Sea Hunt has an 8-foot 3-inch beam. They're both on the same exact load right trailer, and look how much taller the Sea Hunt boat is. So if you are on bigger water, it's going to make all the difference in the world. Now let's take a look at the rear of these boats, and I'll show you the difference in the transit. Both of these brands power Yamaha 4-stroke engines. They both have 115s on them, and I'm sure they both perform very well. The Tidewater option, the trim tap here, normally most guys don't do that on a smaller boat like this, and you couldn't do that option on the Sea Hunt as well. They both have the flatter transom in the back so that you're, you know, because they're smaller boats, both of these guys, manufacturers, wanted to get all of the room inside the boat. So you do have more deck space on a 20-foot boat when the transom comes flat to the back like this. Now here's your swim platform on your Tidewater 196. And then as you can see on both of these boats, again, how much deeper the Sea Hunt goes. They've got the flat keel in the back for a better ride. And next to the Tidewater. Look how much smaller the Tidewater is to the Sea Hunt. It's a much meatier boat. Also got two handles here on their swim platform, a little meatier of a swim platform, and a nicer ladder. Inside the boats, you got a much bigger head and a console on your Sea Hunt, a very tall console. And I'll show you the interior in a minute. Now here's your Tidewater. They're similar in the back of the boats here, except for the fact that Tidewater's got 2 seats in the back with a live well underneath one of them. The Triton has 2 flip-up seats with the live well in between with cup holders. This boat had the flip-flop seat. You could have optioned for the leaning post like on the Tidewater here. This is a big leaning post on this boat. Here's the size of your head and console on your Tidewater. It's much smaller than the Sea Hunt over here. That's the console on the Sea Hunt. Console on the Tidewater. The head is not a lot of room in here. You would have to crawl in there to use that head. Front of the boats, bow sun cushion on both boats. Very similar. Obviously, you got a little more room in the Sea Hunt. It is a little bigger of a boat. Flip up center console seat. Here they have the cooler seat on a 196 Tidewater. Cooler seat with a cushion would go there. Both have fish boxes in the front. You know, high rails, a little higher recessed rail on the 202 Triton Sea Hunt. And then here's your 196 Tidewater. Now on the under gunnel rod storage, the Tidewater has a built-in. This here is an extra piece that they caulk into there. It's not part of the boat with the non-skid like the Sea Hunt is. And the bolsters are slide-in bolsters that would slide in right here. The Sea Hunt has bolsters that are permanent. They are detachable, but they are permanent, and everything's built into the boat, as you can see. I'm going to show you the Sea Hunt head. Here is the head and console closer up on the Sea Hunt, and it has a step down, as you can see here. And you can, you know, a real person can actually sit in there and go to the bathroom if they had to use it. It's much deeper than the Tidewater one, a much larger console, and a step down into there, which is a nice feature. A little closer up here, gunnels, the rod holder storage. So for the same amount of money, or close to it, I think the Sea Hunt Triton 202 will pack a better ride, more dead rise on your entry, way more flare, higher gunnels. You know, I wouldn't consider that a bay boat. That's an extreme bay boat, and good for what we do in New Jersey. And here's another angle of, you know, we're neck and neck here, and that's your dead rise difference on these boats. Huge difference between the Sea Hunt and the Tidewater. The Tidewater I am next to right now. The Sea Hunt is behind it. So both decent boats, depending on what kind of ride you're looking for, what kind of water you're in. And I would say the Sea Hunt definitely beats it out in meatiness, in hull ride, dead rise on your entry and your rear performance. Get better performance out of the Yamaha engine. They are power matched. And for similar money, I would go with the Triton 202. You could always do the upgrades, and you have leaning posts and all that stuff on these boats. So hope that helps you out. Call us for more information. 732-505-3002, or log on at www.njoutboards.com. Thank you very much.